Hi, followers of Eurovision Insider. I am Sara Bonnici from Malta, and I'll be competing at Eurovision with the song Loop. I am so grateful for the love and support you have been showing me, and now I cannot wait to show you my performance in Malmo very soon.
That you could turn me down. No, let's go.
This is Eurovision Insider. Today we're having an interview with Sara Bonnici from Malta. Sara, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing, and I'm very interested in knowing a lot of answers to your questions that we prepared for you. And yeah, I mean, your song for Eurovision, it's in English and we can totally understand the meaning behind it.
Exactly.
But what is the deepest meaning for you for the loop? What is it about?
So it's a very straightforward message. I mean, it's about this guy and girl that are basically falling for each other, and they are sort of stuck in this loop, this web of love, and they just cannot get out of this loop. They're stuck in there, stuck in love. So it's quite straightforward.
Yeah, I think your song is very relatable to everyone in Europe because this
Yeah,
situation is very common, and since it in English, everybody could understand. So it's a great choice for Eurovision to keep the audience understand the things.
exactly.
All right. I mean, you have been participating in Malta selection, including Junior Eurovision and Adult Eurovision in 2022. So why did you decide to come back in 2024?
So I mean, after doing Eurovision before and all of that, this time around it sort of felt like it's the right time to uh, to enter again, and I always wanted to like do Eurovision with an upbeat song where I can sing and dance, because I think that, not I think, it's the truth. Malta never had an entry like this, so I always like had this dream, and I recall even when I was younger, growing up watching Jennifer Lopez, Helena Paparizou, they all like really inspired me, and I wanted to do something similar. So it was always my dream. So this time around felt like the right time to do that. I started working on Loop with this vision in mind. Loop came about, and here I am.
And it's interesting that all of your songs, including Junior Eurovision songs, are completely different from each other because, like, the Junior Eurovision song was about Kitty Cat, the Heaven was a very vocally song, and now Loop is a very danceable song. So we can see all different sides of you when you participate in Malta's selection. And yeah, Loop is an amazing choice for Eurovision. So true for you, good for you, girl. And
Thank you.
I mean, this year Maltese selection was a very long process, and since October, I think we have saw your performance firstly there, and everybody on social media and Twitter were calling that with the Malta needs your dance moves for Eurovision. What were you feeling at that time when the selection was so long? Were you nervous at any point?
Well, I mean, it was quite a particular one. Initially, when I made it through to the semifinals, and I had to perform we had to perform during a TV program, basically. Firstly, I only got to know that I made it through and that I was going to perform 3 days before the performance. So I got the news that I made it through. As soon as I got the news, I also got the news that I had to perform in like 3 4 days, which was insane because I had to train vocally, come up with some dance moves, try sort out an outfit, hair, makeup. It was crazy, and I think that was a really big challenge. I was going to drop, I recall. I mean, putting it out there right now today, because it was like a lot, but it was like a good challenge, which made me like realize how much I want this, because I said, okay, let's do this. I'm going to do my best and perform, and I did so. And initially, the initial reaction was a really positive one. I didn't expect that. Um, then, obviously, after that, I made it through to the finals, and I performed Loop in the national final, and I also had the music video. Quite a long process as well. Um, But yeah, but quite rewarding because now I managed to, win and do the Eurovision.
And I mean this news that you have came up with the dance moves and prepared vocally for only 3 days before the show.
Yeah, around 2 days, exactly, that's crazy. And we were
Because
splitting groups, so not everyone had the same amount of time. Some people had a month, and some people like me had like 3 4 days because I was randomly drawn in the first program, which was insane. But I mean, we made it work.
yeah, and
Like,
yeah, here we are. This all process and your all the things that you have done have came up in a good way for you. So we are here talking with you. It's amazing. So right, Sarah, I think you have already mentioned that you managed to qualify to the final, of course. But what thoughts were in your head when you heard that you won the selection?
and it was crazy. I mean, I had multitude of emotions. I couldn't feel anything. I recall it was crazy. It was always my dream. So, and I couldn't believe it because I was never like the favorite to win. So it was quite unexpected for me.
Yeah, but I think when I saw all the posts on Twitter and the bookmakers, I think, yeah, a lot of people were telling that you are the best choice for Malta. And since you won both, you won jury voting and almost won the televoting, if I'm being right. It's a, I
Yes,
mean,
but exactly. Matt Black won the
yeah,
televoting.
yeah, but
Um,
still you received more
yeah,
points, and
yes.
it's a
Yeah,
great
I
honor
mean,
for you.
I before the performance and the release of the music video, I was never a favorite to win. After the music video was the most viewed, and there was like an insane reaction to it on Twitter and all of that. So that like I recall Ryan Healy, I was he was telling me, "Sir, you have a good chance of winning," and I used to always say, "Shh, shh, don't say anything, don't say that. I mean, I'm not gonna win, obviously." Like, I was never like, I was always in denial, sort of. And then when I actually performed, I saw that the reaction from my performance then was big. So yeah. So then at that point, I said maybe, but I really couldn't believe it until it happened, and even when it happened, it was insane.
Yeah, and I love that you guys were supportive of each other. Everyone in
Yeah.
multi-selection, it felt like you guys are one big family, and everyone is valuable for Eurovision because everybody supports each other so much. It's a great way for do Eurovision because Eurovision isn't about competing only. It's about getting new friends, new connections, promoting your songs. So yeah,
100%. 100%. I mean, I'm really good friends with Ryan. He's like my big brother. He's one of the first people that I showed the song to back then when I wrote the song, and I listened to his. We listened to each other's songs together, and he was like always supportive from day one. And even Matt Black, Denise, they're all good friends of mine. So yes, I mean, I feel very grateful to have them, and we still like have a chat. Mirjana Conta as well, and they're all the time messaging me and doing video calls every day. They're super supportive. Yes.
it's amazing. It's perfect, girl. We're so happy for you. And I just remember this amazing video that you published when you heard that you were opening the semifinals. And your reaction was truly priceless. But what do you think about your running order?
I mean, we knew that we were going to perform in the first half of the semifinal. So for me, the best sort of ideal spot was always like I always wanted to open the show. So when I said that I'm going to open the show, I couldn't believe it because that was insane. It is nerve-wracking. I feel the responsibility, not gonna lie. Opening such a show, it's like insane coming to think of it. But I'm grateful to have been given this opportunity and be trusted with this responsibility, and it's good as well because then I get to relax and watch the other acts.
Yeah, totally. Like becoming a Eurovision fan, it's a great way to perform first and then enjoy everybody else. And that's
Exactly.
great. And I think your song fits the first number like totally because in a lot of cases when the acts performing first, they initially qualify because people remember them. And yeah,
Remember.
I think it's a totally valuable way to do that. Of course, we saw your performance at the pre-party Spain recently. I mean, this trip wasn't really easy for you, mentally and physically, but you gave your best there. And could you share some funny moments that happened during the trip to Spain?
Funny moments. Let me think. Crazy moments all the time because it was so hectic. Like literally, we arrived there. I had to get changed, do the first like appearance, press appearance, go back home, sleep, wake up, sleep, wake up super early, do my makeup. So it was insane. I no, there weren't really. I mean, funny moments all the time. We're all the time laughing, but. Yeah, I mean, maybe a funny sort of funny moment. Just before I went on stage, I realized that I had two holes in my dress, probably whilst I was stretching, one at the back and one here on my tie. But then I said, you know what, we're just a few minutes away. I said I have to deal with it and just go on stage. So yeah, I think that is sort of a funny moment.
And I remember that your photo with Dance from Latvia literally blow up the
Yes, that's
internet.
actually funny. That was actually funny. I recall. Yes, yes, yes. Dons is amazing. He's he's my new buddy. Such
You
a
guys,
sweet guy.
you guys are like best friends because the TikToks and
Yes,
stuff they are so funny. It's amazing that you made already some friends at the Eurovision
yes,
like preparations because you have a lot of time to meet up again and perform again before the Malmo. That's amazing for you. And
yes.
speaking of Malmo, have you already thought about your performance in Malmo? Could you share some hints on what should we expect from your staging in Malmo?
Yes, of course. I have thought about the performance and we're working on it. Definitely, there will be a lot of dancing and it will be a fun, energetic performance. Yeah, and hopefully a good show opener.
I'm definitely telling you, it will be a great show opener for you. We're so hyped about your performance. So yeah, girl, we'll love it for sure already. And yeah, I think my last question for you today will be what other songs from Eurovision 2024 you like? And speaking about Eurovision overall, do you have overall favorite songs?
I think this year, like one of my favorites is Italy. I love the song. I like her energy as well. I think it's great. Um, and like from the overall Eurovision, I think my favorites must be Helena Paparizou, my number one. Like you know, she was like an inspiration growing up, and Sam Ryder's Spaceman. I love the song, love the guy, insane. Big fan.
It's amazing choices. I think you girl have a great taste in it. That's an amazing choices. Well, but I think one of the best Eurovision songs is of course Loop by Sarah
Oh,
Bareilles. But yeah, I think that is just an initial fact, so you don't have to speak about it.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for your time. I hope you're doing well and your performance will be best and like basically amazing. And yeah, have a great evening, Sarah. Thank you so much. Enjoy yourself. Bye
Thank you very
bye.
much. Bye.